Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good, maybe we should take a look at GitHub, if there are any action items that we should look at. Let's take a look at this one here. What happened? It's a merge config. I made a mistake and thought that simply adding version build user parameter to CMake would be enough, but now looking more closely, I realize there's some logic in the C++ that I need to review. I've just changed the input name to release name and CMake flag to release name, and we'll work on C++ counterpart. Weekly is also fine. Weekly preview. maybe weekly preview. Okay, what is here? I think this could be merged for now. It does fix some of the graphical issues, but not every issue with as much effect. Some people now see the effect properly that couldn't have the effect enabled at all without a black screen, but there are still issues around this overall. I think some of the wider issues are graphics driver related more than issues with the effect itself that might not be avoided until we transition to DX9. But what other issues do we see? Do we still see? It's a bit worrying that that it doesn't resolve the problems consistently for everyone. It did solve it on my machine, but yeah, it was a hack. What was it? Smudge's badge count, Flash smudges. Yeah, this was the main fix here. Smudges batch count equals 1. Draw primitive, pointless. Draw a dummy point with the last vertex buffer to force a GPU to flush all current pipeline state and commit the previous draw call. This is required for some AMD models and drivers that refuse to flush a single draw call for the smudges. This draw call is invisible and harmless. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get back to code. So now we should check get real logic timescale FPS. Change max render FPS. Change logic timescale. Logic timescale. I think what we should do here is logic timescale FPS. I think this function is a bit confusing here because I don't know. Should we maybe have an option to disable this as well? Uncapped. Uncapped. Can I have your real? I think we should rename this to get actual. Get actual. Ah. Actual. We say here actual. Logic times scale FPS. And then we also make a const real. Time scale ratio. Ratio. Percent 02F. Dot 02F. X. Okay, enable logic timescale. I wonder if we set the maybe uncapped. Uncapped. I don't know. Um, these need to be afterwards. Let's do a ratio. I would say we remove this here. We can simplify this. Okay. So right now there's no way to disable the logic timescale again when it was enabled once with this key. So I wonder, maybe we should say maybe you should also have an uncapped FPS value. Maybe We could disable this if we reach the max render FPS. Yeah, maybe. So here we could say if that, okay. Then we create one for uncapped render FPS. Set uncapped render FPS. So uncapped. Can do message. Oh boy. Unicode string message. I saw in the YouTube comments, I saw some. So right now I'm working here on this decoupling of the logic and the render frame time. I saw some comments were like, "Oh, amazing," and one comment was, "What is that for? Why not work on things that matter?" So I think it's another example that players want different things, right? So some players want this worked on, and other players want another thing worked on, and different players are hyped for different kind of things, right? Yeah, and it's like you can't listen to just one person for direction because everyone wants something else, right? Yeah, I would say if you want something worked on that you want to get done, then you have to work on it yourself. That's the best way to get something done. Do it yourself, because no one else will do it for you. Unless you're lucky and someone does. But generally speaking, I in my life, no one ever does anything that I want to get done. So I always have to do it myself. It's always like that. And I think it's universal. Like there's, for most people, they have to do it themselves. No one else is going to come for our rescue, right? We always have to keep it pushing ourselves. Good. So I think that is better here. There. Good. So yeah. Maybe we should do the same. Okay, maybe I'll move this here. It's a bit more compact. Okay, do we want to do the same for this here? guess it's fine. Good. So we need to. So I wonder if maybe we should disable the logic timescale when we reach the render FPS value, and then we just disable it. Would that be reasonable? Let me think about this. Maybe not. No, it's kind of weird now. Maybe we put the uncapped FPS value at 0. It could maybe cause problems, division by 0 and so on. We also make it 999, and what we can do is I have an idea. We set it to 999 if we step, where's the set here, change, get next, we say if value is larger than I put an optional here, unsigned int max render FPS. Max render FPS. It's null. We say if max render FPS is not null, and value plus this is larger equal is larger. Is, let's say if value already is larger equal max render FPS. Then we return something. Return uncapped FPS value. We have to remove this here. No. Yes. So we can do here uncapped FPS, yeah. If this is larger than that, it's smaller than this, value smaller than that plus that. Smaller. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So if we go beyond the max render FPS, then we uncap the logic timescale. Yeah, let's see. Logic time FPS is not logic timescale preset uncapped FPS value. Yeah, and then we do here the same as this one. We say set logic timescale FPS. Oof. Oof. And here we say logic timescale FPS is uncapped. There we go. Maybe we should put this here to ease readability. Okay. Should do the same here then. For consistency. Good. Yeah, I think this will work. Set uncapped logic timescale. And here we need to check this logic enables. This one is wrong. This one belongs here and this one here. Okay. Is that good? Or are we missing something? Let's rename this to enables. Logic timescale FPS. Enables. Logic. Timescale FPS. Max render FPS. Okay. Is that good? Or not? Here we need to divide. Okay, let's see if we did everything right. On this one here. Here. Take this guy, const, max render FPS. There we go. No? Oh, oh, it's const. Let's call this max FPS. Tweak the name until they're good. Yeah. Okay, anything else? We need to pass it still. No, we did. Good. We did pass it. Yeah. Okay. It looks promising. Here we have made a mistake. Max render FPS is uncapped. On here, I wonder. When we reduce the max render FPS, then maybe we should also say if max render FPS is not null and the value is larger equal max render FPS. The value is larger equal. Then we need to so let's say we have set the logic FPS to 90 and we reduce the render FPS to 60, then it doesn't make sense to step from 90 to 60, but we can jump from 90 directly to 60. So let's say if it's larger than that, value, get next. Value is larger than that. Then we need to test a value minus this is larger than that. You can do the same here. Value minus that is smaller than that. Value minus this. And here we should say value value plus. If we go larger, then render. Okay, so if we go here, yeah, blah blah blah. Okay, if max render, if the value, the old value minus the step is larger than this, we should say only if, yeah, I think this is correct. I think there's a problem here with this. It's like, yeah, it's bad because what happens if you are if the render FPS is then also unlimited, then you start decrementing from 999 here. Oof. That's not good. How can we best cap this thing? I mean, disable it, lift the cap. Without adding another button for it. For render FPS is easy, we just astronomically high and then good to go. Maybe. Maybe we can increase the steps. Maybe we can. Step. So we could say we want to, at the start, we want to have smaller steps and then they increase logarithmically, get bigger and bigger. Yeah. 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 Always say what we just to say. Cat. We shouldn't have that. Cat FPS value. Maybe put this at 1000 instead of 999. maybe we don't do this. Let's put this back. It also makes the logic more complicated than it needs to be, right? That's never good. Let's delete all this here. I don't like it. It was a nice thought, but keep it simple. Right. Okay, then let's get back in here. I would say if smaller than max render FPS. But then there's still a problem here, because you can now keep increasing this number even though it's already uncapped. That's also weird. It would be kind of good if we reach this cap, that it doesn't increase anymore, right? Yeah. Yeah, we can maybe we can say we want to set logic timescale FPS. So we can set it to, if it reaches a cap, then maybe we say maybe say if not is enabled, then smaller. Maybe we can say I'm not sure if we say here if we say this, would that work? So only if it's enabled, then we set it. And so here, if it happens to disable it, then the next time we call it, it won't change it again. But then if it enables it again, I have to test that. Let me test, yeah. Looks a bit fishy. There could be some bug now. Okay, so uncapped. Okay, so it's uncapped, we cannot change it. Okay, fair enough. Let's change the FPS. It says it's 50 now. Yeah. Okay, and now we change this. Timescale is 35. Uncapped. Actual 60. Ratio 2. 55. Actual 60. What? Actual 60. Ratio 2. Okay, why is this happening? Okay, for some reason we are trapped now. Okay. That didn't went well. Let's see why that is. It's 60. Oh, I cannot see the values. Well, that's bad. Let me do a debug build. think touching this here will be difficult. Yeah. Should revert this name change. Good. Okay. Okay, so we increase the render FPS, and now we put that. Ah. I see a mistake here. Good. I think we can just reuse this one. Okay, let's restart that. Good. Let's see. We increase that to 60, and that is 30, 35, 40, 50, 55, uncapped, uncapped, 60, 55, uncapped, 60, 55. Maybe we have to set it behind that as well. Before and after. So, okay. That works. Okay, that's cool. I like that. That's nice. That's nice. I like that. Yep. Yep. That's cool. That's nice. I like it. Maybe we should add some comment here though, because it looks a bit confusing on first sight. Intentionally sets it again. Intentionally sets it again in case can we then maybe not just use this condition here? Think about this. Let's just try it. So instead of this And this, how about we do this? Would that work? I can't wrap my head around it right now. Let's just test it. It may not. I think it does not. It does something different. No, it doesn't work. No. That's different. Yeah. Set value before disabling it. Set value after enabling it. After potentially enabling it. For potentially disabling it. Yeah, I think that clarifies it well enough. Should we do the same here? Let me think about that. So this one does uncap if we reach a high value. Yeah, and I think that's fine. Yeah, let me test that. So we set 30 max render, and then we can go up, and then it says uncapped. I see there's a typo somewhere here. Yeah. Strange. When setting max render FPS to uncapped, it actually moves slower. How is that possible? Huh? That's unexpected. Somehow, what? Why is uncapped slower than 480? That I don't understand. Strange. Okay, so here is uncapped. 50, 35, 40. 45 is 105. Ratio 2. Uncapped, okay. Now what happens if we, what happens if we now reduce the max render FPS? What now? Uncapped, actual 30. Okay. What now? Now we are stuck. Okay, let me restart and debug this. Oh boy. Okay, so we increase the render FPS to 60. We catch up with the timescale. It is uncapped now. Now we reduce the render FPS to 30. Now we do this. Now we increase it again. Okay, that has worked. Yeah. 30. Okay. Okay, it seems to be stuck now, right? Yeah. Now it's stuck. I don't know how, but it's stuck. Let's put a breakpoint here. So, max render FPS is 50. And this value is 65. So it is not enabled, and this. And we don't enable it, so we can't get out of this. I see. I think we can solve this by I think we can do this equals max render FP max this min max minus max modulo step FPS value. Is that right? Maybe. Okay, so render to 60, then we catch up to uncapped. Now we decrease this, and now that works. Okay, so put us to 70. We catch up to 70. Now we decrease the render FPS to 50. Now we decrease this 45. Maybe we should say... Maybe we should not do this, but we should do this. So minus this plus step min. Yeah, so this one goes 5 up. No, we can't do that. That's not safe. No. I think this is correct. I put it to that. 45. I think here we should do plus this minus this. Let's do a const unsigned int remainder. Max remainder. Max render remainder. So we go to max render FPS. So we go to 72. Now we go up to 72, 70. Now, let's go to 72, and now we go down to 56, and now we should end up at 55. Let's say, yeah, 55, and now 56. Yeah. Okay, that works. That works the way I intended it to work. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yep. Oof. What is the time slot here? Okay, that doesn't work as intended. Why is it so slow? Huh? How? Oh. Okay, we have another problem. What is this? Huh? That is unexpected. Why is it so slow? Huh? Is that also happening in skirmish or not? Let's see. So we got to 120, 144. No, that works just fine. Huh. Somehow it doesn't quite reach the 144 FPS. It's struggling. Why? Why is that? 240. It's struggling to reach the 240. I wonder why that is. Okay, well, it looks like we have some more problems here. So somehow it's struggling to hit the 144. I don't know if that is expected or not. It has no problem hitting the other numbers though. Well, there's some fluctuation here. Could be just unstable FPS. Yeah. Yeah, could be just a fluctuation at the top end. Yeah. I think that's not a big concern. The rest looks good. Okay, so in game it's fine. We do high FPS and things move as expected. Yeah, this looks fine. Okay, then why is it broken in the shell map? Let's see. So uncap. To me, this indicates that there's some frame rates are handled as integers. Some frame times are handled as integers. Maybe. Okay, but it's not as broken now. It's fine now. Oh. Timescale is stuck now. Okay. Looks like we had hit another bug. Let's see why. 60. 145. Remainder 5. Yeah. Remainder. Ah. Should probably do modulo this -1. No. We do this modulo equal this -1. max render remainder minus equal max render step FPS value. And then actually no, this should not be modulo, it should be equals max. Okay, 5. Ugh. When we add so this value is 5, but we don't want it to be 5. Well, we could say if 5, then make it 0. Or we just modulo it again. So, well, that's not quite right, is it? So let's say we have 5. So programming. So 5, where's mod? Huh? Here. 5 mod 5 0. But then problem is that we have like 4 mod 5. Oh, that works. Yeah. It's 3 mods. 5 is also 3. Okay, then we can do this. Will equal, and we mod it again against itself. This might work. Maybe there's an easier way to code this. This is quite a bit confusing. You may ask ChatGPT if this can be simplified. Can the following calculation be simplified? Let's do unsigned int. Calculation in C++ be simplified. Yes. Well, that didn't do much. It's the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same. It's just in one step. It's just one step. Yeah. Good, let's try this again. So we go to 75. We go to 75 here. Now we go 60, 55. Okay, how do we get this mega slog reproduced again? There we go. How did that happen? Ah, but now it's self-corrected. Look at that. Oof. Oof. Fast cameras, yeah. Okay, so we have no FPS cap. Aha. Okay. That mega slog happens when we increase the time scale to insane levels. Interestingly, it stays like that. Oh, it comes to standstill. Wow, that is outrageous. How is that possible? My gosh. Ah, my gosh. It looks like the game is now really slowly advancing. Insanely slow. How is that possible? Game engine update. It really is slow now. Let me see if we can identify the culprit here. So that's 30. Target frame time, yeah. Oh. Right. Uh-huh. There's a culprit. Ah, shit. We did this to fix another issue, but now this is causing an issue regardless. God damn it. Okay, but we identified the problem. That's already a start. Yeah, right. So this one becomes effectively 0.001 or so, right? It's very tiny. Yeah, so this advance is really, really tiny here. Oof. 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 Yeah, it's no wonder. Okay, so if we increase render FPS to insane levels, yeah. Man. Man. Friend. It's basically the opposite problem, right? Yeah. We did this to combat stalls. Oops, now I deleted it. Shh. Combat stalls. Maybe. Maybe as min we should not take this here, but we should take this guy as a min. Let me think that through. Yeah. Min. Yeah, so right now this one is just way too small, this value. This value here is pretty big. This one is pretty small. Yeah, maybe maybe to fix this we need to put this guy here. Yeah, let's try that. Well, it's good that we test. There's so much wrong. It's easy to make bugs, right? Easy peasy. Good. So let's see. So basically we put very high FPS. Yeah. Okay, it seems fine. Why not? Seems fine. Interesting. When we set 480, it's faster. 480 is faster than 1000. How is that possible? Maybe it's just because it needs to like get onto a new camera movement path first. That could be. Okay, well it looks overall looks fine. Okay, so set it to uncapped, and now we set that 30. Let's observe a bit what happens. Okay, why is the camera so slow? What is this? Oof. 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 What is going on here? Man, this code wonky. I think it's because it's now moving very, very slow along the path. Yeah. I think a problem is, let me go to camera. Move camera. Move camera along waypoint path. Move camera to. Where is this function? Where does he update? Oh boy. Nope. This one. There we go. Now I see the mistake. But that's stupid. That's stupid. Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised that it's like that, yeah. What the hell? Oof. 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 Right, so, yeah, this is wrong. What were the others? Jesus Christ. Oh boy. What this basically assumes is that we hit this frame length, but well, it's not quite right, is it? What is this here? Num frames. What is this for, this num frames? What the hell? Yeah, so the problem is that yeah, that's not right. Maybe they should all be replaced with what we did to the other one. Okay, it was logic frames per second before. Yeah, and we change it to default max render FPS. Yeah. Okay, so. Yeah, I think we don't do it right. Yeah. We don't do it right. Okay, I think we have it wrong. Yeah. That's not right. No, the camera is not right. Default logic frames per second. Okay. Super logic frame rate. Oh, this needs another good look, man. No. This divided by this. 1000 divided by 30. Yeah, I think what is this here? Oh, it's quite a bit more complicated than I thought. The camera setup somehow is weird. Yeah. So this frame length, it's also meant to be logic frame. Yeah. Logic frame. Okay, how about logic frames? Okay, what if we take this guy? Put it back to what it was, and then we don't do do we want to have real or not? Maybe it's okay. Yeah, and then we say no, no. The logic, oh my gosh. The logic frames per second is... I'm not sure what time value it expects there. And it really is not clear to me, the num frames. Does it want to have the render frames? Does it want to have logic frames? What is num frames? I have no clue. Number of frames to rotate. Okay. How about we just put msec per logic frame real? Yeah. So here, I suspect we need to scale this by the game engine logic time scale ratio, right? Could that be? Maybe frame length. It's I can't wrap my head around this bullshit. Because it works with these oh my gosh. Frame length. Do we need to update this on? Okay, so let's remove this here. So I don't wonder on set logic timescale FPS. need to... Get ratio. Let's try that. It's not working on this. I will pick up this task tomorrow if he's not working on this. Yeah. Okay, so things look normal for starters. Yeah. Okay, so let's increase render FPS to 60. Okay, now we have some issue. Let me revert the change we did in here. Total time milliseconds. Let me revert this one here, because that might no longer be correct. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now if we decrease the logic, let's set it to 30. Yeah. Then it stops. Oof. Well, that's not good. It's moving too fast. Um, so that moved 4 seconds. Okay, let me go to. Oh, it's so. I think it looks like I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah. Let me remove this here again. Good, so change max render to 90. And then change this 30. Okay, so what if we it's 1, isn't it? That doesn't do anything. Yeah, okay, so I mean it's overall it's not too bad. But there's some issue with the stopping. I don't know. It seems that it's moving too fast to the destination, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I suspect that. Let me comment this here out. That this call here, this is wrong, right? I suspect that this one needs to be given. Yeah, what? the actual frame length. So maybe this multiplied by ratio. I don't know. The ratio is 1, so no, that doesn't work. Actually, why is the ratio 1? Hold on. Should be 0. Let's see. Maybe we need to multiply it by the ratio of how do we get the current FPS value? Current FPS. Display get current FPS. Get current FPS. The game engine. Because basically this here expects that the current presentation frame is, yeah, it's the same as the render frame. That the logic frame is identical to the render frame. So game engine get actual FPS. So logic frame ratio. So that would be, so let's say this is 30 and this is 60, then this becomes 0 0.5. 30 divided by no. Yes. 30 divided by 60 is 0 0.5, and then this one, half of it. But then that's, so this guy is then half. Is that what we want? Yes. Yeah, this might be right. Let's see. Hope for the best. Oh boy. So 60. It stops weirdly, but only short. Yeah. Okay, so we put the logic frame rate to 30. Okay, that's not bad. That looks decent. Yeah, this looks good. Then let's increase it again to uncapped. Okay, so it looks almost correct, but it does see short stops. I wonder what's up with that. Yeah, why does it do this so short stops? This one is 1.9. Yeah. That's interesting. Get current FPS. Does this really return the correct value? Current FPS 44. Yeah, that looks about right. Maybe we need to max it. Max 1.0. I'm not sure. Testing. That actually makes sense. Actual logic task. Yeah. Actually makes sense. Yeah. If this works, it makes sense to me because yeah, we should not go above this current FPS. The logic timescale will cap at the current FPS. It doesn't go over it. Yeah. So the scale larger than 1 was incorrect. Okay, so let's go render 60. Fair enough. It still stops though. It still stops very long. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh, Max. Man. Jesus Christ, I can't program anymore. Oh my gosh. I think it's time for the AI to just take over. Just tell, make the best game ever, prompt, and then one click and it's done, right? But where's the fun in that? We want to craft the games, right? That's more fun. Okay, so back to 60 FPS. And there we go. Okay, that looks promising. Very promising. Okay, it looks very promising to me. Yeah. Let's put the render FPS is uncapped. Yeah. Let me test it in release, please. Because there we get more frames. Oh boy, it's quite intricate. But this to me makes much more sense what we did than what we did before. Yeah. So here we actually pass a correct frame length that is representative of the logic of the timescale. Maybe we should call it logic timescale ratio. Okay. Okay, what is this? This change fixes two call sites that call AI attack position with a null parameter which gets dereferenced, causing a crash. Okay. Let's see. Position should be irrelevant, but AI attack position requires a valid position pointer to avoid a crash. Position should be irrelevant, but AI attack position requires a valid position pointer. Well, AI attack position. Yeah, it does. Then why did they pass null here? What is this? Not need target pause. Huh? Did they maybe mean to call something else? That's weird. We command fire weapon. Not need target pause. about attack position? Maybe we just attack position. What kind of attacks are there? Attack team, attack position, attack move, attack objects. So you fixed this and that. Yeah, is there any other? What's that? Interesting. Save. Needs to be replicated to generals, right? Or not? Attack position. 0 hour only. Yeah, seems to be 0 hour specific. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so FPS 60. $90. Okay, this looks very good. This looks very, very good. Now we change it to 30. Still looks very good. Now we increase. Logic timescale is now 60 and our FPS is 90. Looks good. Okay. I hope that now we figured it out correctly. Yeah. But this looks correct. Yeah, let's do the extremes. Let's go here with uncapped FPS. Looks fine. Oh, the camera stopped for a moment. Yeah, but it's only short. Yeah, it doesn't look optimal. The rocket buggy definitely looks wrong. The way he wiggles left and right looks wrong. Yeah. Does this also happen in game? Let me see. Let's get a GLA. Let's do a high FPS and low. That was fast. Oh yeah. Oof. 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 Oh boy. Okay, I suspect it's maybe likely bound to this frame rate. Yeah. Yeah. So we probably need to find the place that does this wiggle and then use the correct value there. Yeah. There could be more of these kind of things, right? Yeah. Okay, good. But I will end it here. Yeah, it's been 3 hours. Okay. Yeah, it is more work than I thought, actually. I thought it would be easier, but now I'm deep in it. And I want to fix it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, so the rocket buggy we need to fix as well. And yeah, regarding the camera here, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure why it stops every now and then. It's weird. Could be related to like the fluctuation and the frame rates, maybe. Well, it's just Appears to only happen if we uncap the frame rate, right? So uncapped. Now. The movement is not correct anymore. We have seen worse, so it's not the worst anymore, but there's still something not quite right. I don't know what it is, as usual. Yeah. Yeah, it implies that it's still... This is still not quite right, but I'm not sure. Get current FPS. What does this return? Integer. Real. Okay, this should also be a real then here. this result. Just to be sure, let's put a real here. Yeah. Frame length in MSEC. Okay. I will end it here. We make some progress, but it's not there yet. The code is not ready for this kind of journey. Yeah. It shows like how much work there's actually to be done. Yeah. 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 Good. I will end it here. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.